So in this session, we will try to understand how to create an HTML file. So first remember one important point. You can able to use different tools for creating HTML files. Let me write the set of HTML tools which we will be using for creating HTML files. The first one is Notepad and second one is Notepad++, and there is something called as Dream Viewer, and obviously there is one more tool called as Visual Studio. So any version of the Visual Studio, you have to install something called as Web Developer. So you can able to get the Web Developer from the Microsoft website. Okay, so anyhow, as a .NET developer, my favorite tool is Visual Studio because I will be writing the .NET code by using Visual Studio, and hence I have even the habit of writing HTML files or creating HTML files by using Visual Studio software. Okay, so anyhow, in this session, just for your comfort, I will try to explain how to create an HTML file by using Notepad software, and I will also explain how to create an HTML file by using Visual Studio. Okay, so before writing the code or before writing the HTML file or before creating HTML file, I will tell you what I am going to do in my HTML file. I will create an HTML file, and once that HTML file code is sent to the browser, my requirement is the browser has to display the message stating that welcome to Pale University. So inside that HTML file, I would like to write some code for displaying the message as welcome to Pale University. So that is my requirement. So this requirement I will be implementing. So for this requirement I will be writing some code, and I will be writing the code by using Notepad as well as Visual Studio softwares. Okay. Now first I will try to create a notepad or a text file. When I right click on my desktop, I will get this option, and here I should go for new and I should click on text document. So automatically a text document will be created. You double click on the text document, so automatically the text document will be opened by using Notepad software. Now let me try to write the code for generating an HTML file. So first, which tag I should write? I should write HTML tag. Immediately after writing the opening HTML tag, you also write the closing HTML tag, something like this, and in between you should write head tag opening and then head tag closing. What next? We should write body tag opening as well as ending. So sometime back I already told you that in general in an HTML document, HTML tag will be present and head tag will be present and body tag will be present. So now after writing the code something like this, I would like to display a message stating that welcome to Pale University. So where should I write the content? Anyhow, I can able to write the content either inside the body or inside the header, but I always recommend you to write your content whichever you would like to see in the browser, always in the body tag or in between the body tag. Let me write welcome to Pale University. So remember, you can able to write a plain text inside the body tag as well as inside the header tag also. But anyhow, it is recommended to write your content always in the body tag. But definitely we will be writing some content inside the header tag that you will be understanding later. So later I will be explaining what content we have to write inside the header tag or head tag. Now after writing the content something like this, I should save this file as HTML file. How to do this? Click on file and then click on save as. Now try to give some file name. Maybe I'll give my file name as welcome, and I should change the file extension to either .html or .htm. My favorite one is .html. So I have used .html over here, and I will click on save button. So once I click on save button, you observe that welcome.html file is saved something like this. Now when I double click on this, automatically this code will be sent to Internet Explorer or Edge, and my HTML content will be displayed. Now let me double click. After double clicking, my welcome.html file is opened in the Edge browser or in the Internet Explorer browser. So obviously you can able to see the content something like this. Welcome to PALLE University. So if you observe carefully, this browser is displaying the output. So why the browser is displaying the output? Because the browser has received some HTML. So because of receiving some HTML only, it is displaying the output something like this. Now the question here is it possible to see the HTML which is received by this browser? Obviously the answer is yes. How to see the content or the HTML which is received by the browser? It is simple. You should right click on the browser and you should click on view source. Once you click on view source, you must be able to see the HTML whichever is received by the current browser here, right? So similar way, in case if you are getting the HTML output in some other browsers, maybe like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, even in those browsers also you can able to right click. Definitely you can able to see something like view source or maybe view page source. You just click on the view source or view page source. Obviously you can able to see the HTML which is received by the browser. So I believe you understood. So this is how you will be writing the HTML content, or this is how you will be creating the HTML files by using Notepad software. So by using Notepad software, we were able to create some HTML document. So if you observe carefully, this HTML document or HTML file, that is welcome.html, it is displaying some content, and in most of the cases we might require to display some information over here in the tab. So in this tab area we might require to display the title of your page. So in case if you want to display some title for your page, maybe you can go to your HTML file, or you can able to open your HTML code by using Notepad, and here inside the header section or inside the head section you should write something called as title tag. I can give some title over here and end of the title tag. Now again I will save this file. So once the file saving is completed, I will just click on this refresh button. Obviously you must be able to see that title. You observe here, you are getting test page as title here, and you are getting some output, and you can able to see the HTML which is received by the browser here, right? So similar way, now I will try to explain the same thing by using my Visual Studio. I will try to create the welcome.html file by using Visual Studio. So once the Visual Studio software is installed, you should click on Visual Studio software. In case if you have installed the Visual Web Developer, obviously you have to click on that Visual Web Developer. So let me, in my case, I got full version of Visual Studio. I should click on Visual Studio version. Maybe that can be 2010 or 2013 or 2015, it doesn't matter. After opening the Visual Studio, you should click on File menu and click on New and go to Website option. Once I click on Website option, we should be able to see a template, a new window, something like this. So inside this window, I recommend you to select ASP.NET Empty Website, and you can give some name to the website. So I am giving the name of the website as my website, and let me click on OK. So once I click on OK, you must be able to see the Visual Studio something like this. Now you click on Solution Explorer. So once you click on Solution Explorer, you must be able to see Solution Explorer something like this. So don't touch this web.config file. After this, you right click on this website name and click on add and click on add new item. So once you click on add new item, again one more window will be opened. So the new template window, something like this, and inside this window you should select HTML page. So by default the HTML page's extension will be .html. That .html will be visible over here, and here you can change your file name. So you are allowed to give any file name over here depending on your requirement. So in my case I will give the file name as welcome.html and let me click on add. So once I click on add, I must be able to see an HTML document something like this. Anyhow, you no need to bother about what is this doc type and HTML tag, and you no need to bother about this XML/NS also. Anyhow, at this point of time, since this XML/NS is not required, let me delete it. And similar way, in case if you are not comfortable with this tag, I recommend you to delete it. So you observe carefully. So here inside this welcome.html file, you must be able to see automatically generated HTML open tag and end tag, head open and then end tag, body open and end tag, and in between you must be able to see the title tag also. So you can give some title for your page, or I can give some title for my page, something like test page, and inside the body I will try to enter some text. Maybe in this case I will write welcome to Pale University. That's all. Save the file, and after this go to Solution Explorer, right click on the welcome.html file and click on view in browser. You observe carefully in my Visual Studio, you must be able to see view in browser, and in the brackets you can able to see Google Chrome. So why it is displaying Google Chrome over here? It is simple. In my computer there are different types of browsers available. So I got Google Chrome browser, I got Internet Explorer browser, and I even got Mozilla Firefox, right, including the Edge browser, right. But among all these different types of browsers available in my computer, while installing the Google Chrome browser, most probably I would have selected that Google Chrome browser as a default browser. That is the reason why my Visual Studio is showing that default browser name here. Now let me click on view in browser. Now this entire HTML code will be sent to my browser, that is Google Chrome browser. Now the Google Chrome browser is opened something like this. So you observe here, you can able to see rotating icon here. So why that rotating icon is visible here? It means that my browser has not received the complete output. So once the complete output is received by the browser, you will not see that rotating icon. Okay, and now my Google Chrome browser has received the output, the HTML code, and because of that only you are able to see some output here, that is welcome to Pale University. And you observe here a tab. What is the name given for this page? Test page. You are allowed to give any name by changing the title tag value. Now if you observe carefully, this browser is displaying some output. So why it is displaying some output? Because it has received some HTML. Now the question here is it possible to see the HTML received by the browser, that is Google Chrome browser? Answer is yes. How to see? Right click on the browser and click on view page source. Now you must be able to see the HTML code received by my Google Chrome browser. So because of receiving this HTML code only, it is displaying the output something like this. So I believe you understood. So this is how you will be creating the HTML documents or HTML files. But from now onwards, I will never show you the creation of HTML files in the Notepad. I will be always creating the HTML files by using my favorite editor called as Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, in case if you are having some other softwares like Notepad++, or maybe if you are having the Dreamweaver or maybe some other softwares, you are allowed to, or you are free to use those other softwares for creating HTML files. I believe you understood.